Tallinn is the capital and largest city of Estonia. It is situated on the northern coast of the country, on the shore of Gulf of Finland, 80 kilometers south of Helsinki, east of Stockholm, and west of St. Petersburg in Harju country. From the 15th century until 1918 and briefly during the Nazi occupation of Estonia from 1941 to 1944, the city was known as Revel. Tallinn occupies an area of 159.2 and has a population of 4,45,480.
Okay, please come very close to me.
Come close.
Come closer here, please, then you can hear me. So we have arrived to a very important square in Tallinn Old Town. Tallinn Old Town, as I explained, is divided into two parts, Upper Town and Lower Town. At the moment we are in Upper Town. There is a city wall around the whole Old Town. It's around 2.3 kilometers long. Almost 2 kilometers has remained, all the history, all the wars over the time. And in Upper Town, in medieval times, noblemen were living. So the rich and proud ones. So during summertime, they were living all over Estonia. They had their manor houses, so they enjoyed a nice summer outside in the countryside. But here they had their winter residences. The pink building in front of you this way is where the government of Estonia is working. So there has been a castle or fortification since 10th century already. Then it was wooden, but when Danes conquered Estonia in 1290, a stone fortress was built here. And over the time it was built bigger, higher, and so on. So the land of Estonia has been conquered by different countries. Danes, Germans, Swedes, Russians. So it has been a battlefield for the whole history. Mostly because we have the sea, we have good access to the sea, and we are between Europe, north of Europe, and Russia. So we have been demanded area.
Position only made everybody to conquer.
Yes, exactly. But it has given us a lot. Our culture is rich, and thanks to that we have also this beautiful old town that you will see. Our parliament is working here now. You can see the parking is half full. It's early morning for them, but they come to work here. If we're lucky, we can see also the prime minister who comes from the government area, because sometimes he's walking between. So I will draw your attention when he's walking by. Because the government area is just a few hundred meters from here, and when he comes from the meeting to meet the parliament, then he usually takes a walk. His security guys are a bit anxious because he doesn't want to take the car for this short ride. But the big building here was built at the beginning of 18th century. It's a big complex of buildings, and inside there is a building also from 20th century. And yes, this is where our parliament members come to work. And I mentioned also that we have female president, and this area is also for the government, so we will see the government area. Playwriters, producers, they come from this building. The profile of the man on the wall is Voldemar Panso. He was the creator of this academy. So it's an active academy today, and very popular among local young Estonians because they all want to be actors. Arts. So a lot of ballet dancers come from this academy. And we go to another corner now to see Estonian church, the Dome Church. Let's let the other group go by, and then we continue.
Did you what?
There was a question about this flag there on the yellow building. Is the residence of French ambassador. So the ambassador of France is living there. In general, in the old town, there are many embassies. So around the corner there is embassy of Canada. We will see embassy of Ireland, Netherlands. Is the Dome Church, the most important church upper town in Toompea. And this was the church for noblemen, so the rich people who lived up in Toompea. The first church was built here when the Danes conquered Estonia in 1219, so around 800 years ago. Then it was a wooden church, but it has been built bigger and higher over the time. Toompea suffered very big fire in the end of 17th century, so most of the buildings around here they were unfortunately burned down. So that's why the buildings around this square are not that medieval. We will see more medieval buildings in downtown. But the church remained. It was nicely renovated, but built again bigger and higher over the time. So for example, the tower, there is a number 1779, so that's when the tower was built and was ready. So as it was very important among noble families, then I will check if we can go inside to walk through the church, Estonian churches, and you can see how it is inside. I have said that Estonia is part of the European Union, and in the European Union there is a system that after every 6 months one of the member countries is organizing a lot of events in their country. So they are keeping the presidency of European Union Council, and this green building was supposed to be the headquarters of this event, and we were supposed to be the leader of European Union presidency next year in 2018. But if you have heard about Brexit, that England stepped out, and then all the events happen 6 months in advance. So they did not have time to renovate this building. But this was the town council of the noblemen living in Upper Town in Toompea in medieval times. But if you look now on your left, yellow building, the light yellow building and the darker yellow building, that's where our government is working. We have 15 ministers, prime minister and 14 ministries, and they gather there, they have their meetings there. So this is the road where the prime minister takes the shortcut to go to the parliament when he has to meet the parliament members. But we will now go to a new platform. You will see a nice view over Tallin Old Town. We will cross this small square, so be careful with the car. So very rich families, they had very, very big houses here. Today they are not in private use anymore, but for example in this yellow building, the Chancellor of Justice is working, so seeing if all the laws are correct and people are yes. And the limestone building took over this building. That's where all our scientists and academics they meet. So their union is located there. Again, in the former nobleman's family house. And later we will walk in front of the building. We're going down there, but you can see how powerful buildings they are. And we continue around the corner. There is a view platform. This is a church, St. Olaf.
Orthodox Church.
No, these are all Lutheran, Protestant, all Protestant.
This one, yeah. Looking at the cross, you can make out.
Yes, this is Orthodox. It's very, very small.
Slant
The
cut.
dome, even the dome shape.
No. The cross has got one more slant cut. At the bottom. Typical Russian Orthodox.
Yeah, it's showing the wind. Yeah, it's showing the wind. Most of the
Wind
buildings,
vane.
they have the direction of the wind. Okay, so we have arrived to one of several view platforms. You can see the downtown from here, and also further. For example, more on the left, you can see the TV tower. That's where you went yesterday. And more in the back is Lasnamägi, another city district, and that's also called the bedroom of Tallinn, because 1/3 of the population lives there in big block buildings that was built in Soviet time. So 650 buildings and a lot of people and a lot of apartments. The red in the back. The red in the back. And you can see also the city, the new skyscrapers, hotels, banks, your hotel as well, Viru Hotel. And then more on the right, this hotel standing alone. This is Olympic Hotel, so this was built for Olympic Games.
That one.
That one there, yes. And this great tower in front of us is the town hall. We will go on the town hall square in some time. And you can see also the bay of Tallinn with the cruise ships. And on your left, this big church with a tall tower is St. Olaf Church. Between 16th and 17th century, it was the highest building in the world. It was 159 meters high, the one on the left, with a green tower. It used to be, it's the Church of St. Olaf. It's a Protestant church, built again as Catholic church, but after Reformation became a Protestant church. And it used to be the highest building in the world, but it got hit by lightning many times. So it was not built that high anymore. So it's 123 meters high at the moment. There is a view platform, so it's possible to climb up a lot of stairs and to see Tallinn. And in front of you is a street that we will take later to arrive to downtown. And the church on your right is St. Nicholas Church. It was built by Scandinavian sailors for their church, but it got hit by bombs when there was World War II in the 1940s. So it was the tower was burned down, and as at Soviet time, religion was quite forbidden. It was not renovated as a church because it was not possible to get finances and support.
Soviet Union, this has become a concert hall and museum because religion is forbidden. It's the TV tower.
Are correct and people are good.
Office of the Justice.
It was built here beginning of 15th century, and on the wall you can see the oldest public clock of Tallinn from beginning of 16th century. There is ticket to go inside, but you can go later on your own a bit to stand in the back, so you can see how is the atmosphere in the church. And the tower, it had the oldest public bell, church bell, but in 2002, after some renovations, the bell there was a fire and the bell fell down and broke, so it's not the oldest bell anymore in the tower. And it's again a Protestant church, active church today. So, and there is also a very nice picture Bible inside, so pictures from the Bible. So then the yellow building here in front of you, it's a guild house. So guilds used to be unions for merchants, united them together to help them to do better business. This was the great guild, the most important guild. There were very specific rules or strict rules who could be part of that guild. So they had to be either Germans, they had to have property in Tallinn, and they had to be married. But why was it prestigious to be part of that guild? Of Russia, and on the street also there is embassy of Sweden, all the countries where you have been or you will go also. Then this yellow building in front of you is the oldest cafeteria in Tallinn. There is very nice marzipan room inside. There is a lady hand painting marzipan figures, and there is a chocolate shop and a cafeteria operating since middle of 19th century. And then this light yellow building is a gift shop, so very local souvenirs. If you are curious to buy something Estonian, then this is the shop where to buy. So matryoshka and amber you can buy from St. Petersburg, but here is more wooden things. Wooden butter knife, for example, made of juniper tree. Very nice restrooms in this gift shop, and also restrooms in Though you were here yesterday evening, but now you can see it in brighter daylight. The building, the grey building in front of you, is Town Hall. It was built in 1403, so more than 600 years ago. And at that time, it was the most important building in medieval Tallinn. The town council was working there. Today is only for receptions. There is museum and exhibitions inside, and it's possible also to visit the tower. On top of the tower you see a man standing. This is old Thomas. He is the guard of Tallinn, and he checks that everything is okay. The buildings around the square are medieval. They represent the merchant houses. Later you will see also on Miru Street some. But the system of the building was this, that at the entrance, after the entrance, there was a big meeting room for the craftsmen or merchants to have business meeting or to do work and so on. And behind this room there was a sleeping area of the family, the only area where there was heating. The rest of the building was cold. And second and third floor were building behind you, light yellow, is a pharmacy building, and it's the oldest continuously working pharmacy in Europe. So it started operating in 1422, and for many generations it was owned by Hungarian family, but it's still working pharmacy. White snow. Also locals come there then. Today or this summertime, locals don't like to come to Old Town because there are so many tourist groups. But Christmas time is when all of us, we come here, we drink hot wine, and we take some sweet pastry and enjoy the Christmas feeling. Okay, so let's walk through the square.
Water canvas വഴിയിട്ടില്ല ഇതേ നടക്കുന്നത്
Смотрите.
Hollywood movies being shot here? In Hollywood film?
No,
Nothing.
just in the cinemas, but no movie shooting here.
reverse cycle.
Just
But
like
it's a
from
nice place.
just like from Finland or no actors or actresses from this country.
Not famous. Not famous. Some musicians.
Players, famous or something.
Tennis player, one girl is good now, Annette Contraveit. She won the one competition.
Andhra.
Annette Contraveit. So, some running.
What is the highest rate of taxes in here? 30%? 20%.
We have like it's the same for everybody. It's the same for
Women are only at 20%.
they want it. So you see the entrance, there is a big room, and second, third floor are the storage floors. So you can see the hook and the bag, so that's how they put the things in the storage. And the house in the back, all the Hansa, that's a storage house. So it doesn't have many windows, but it's just for storing things. So a lot of business was done with
Here for sure nobody lives, only these 4 people.
living first floor. So a lot of trading was done by the sea with ships. And there are also stories that Tallinn is built on salt. So a lot of business was done with salt. Okay, but now we will take this main street of Piru and we will arrive to the hotel square. So you will see the hotel and that's the end of our
We are going to Viru Square. And within a few minutes we will be leaving Estonia. Blue. Yeah, that is Viru Hotel. Viru City. So Viru Hotel, staying there.
flower, for example, and tulips that grow here as well. But it's very local market here.
Where are you getting these flowers from?
Mostly from the Netherlands.
I see. Oh, we have gone to Kirkenhof, that tulip garden.
Aha, okay. So that's where a lot of tulips come also here.
But now the season is over, I think. Tulip season
Yes.
is over.
Tulip season is over. So a lot of roses.
നീന്ത് കാശുണ്ട് അതാ അപ്പത്തിന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ അയക്കാം കടൽ കാക്കേനും താമരപ്പൂ ഇന്ന് നമ്മളിത് കാട്ടണം ഒരു